Hello everyone, welcome to ZSR and welcome to the Diminished Cap Randomizer tournament, the first ever season with this Spring Tournament 2020. Round number 1, AeroRaiser versus Nimbus125, and without further ado, while I'm sitting in the home office, working my butt off, let's actually switch to the layout and let's say hi to the two comps, to iBot and to Myth. Hey!
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Wait, we have a cropping off on... There you go, okay.
Alright, so we've got Aero and Nimbus today. Aero, a veteran of the Diminished Cap Randomizer community, was around in the first ever race. Nimbus has been a tracker for a very long time. They know this game very well, and they haven't done any of the weeklies, but they have done a few of the asyncs recently in the last couple of months. So it's going to be a interesting match.
Yeah, it should be fun. If I had to bet, I would bet on Arrow, but could always see anything can happen in Rando.
Yeah, it's rando. Anything can happen. We've already had upsets in this tournament so far. Oh, Golden Cocoa in the hash.
That's... I mean, we do have a Tress seat here.
Yeah, this is a Tress seed. Right,
Who
they're gonna
knows
ready
what
up.
that will be like. Looks like they're off.
And we are off. And it doesn't look like anything in Link's house. It's just some rupees. And a heart piece.
Yeah, heart pieces, not the best item. They could potentially be important for that one check wave blade, but not what they need to get started here.
Yeah, in the early game, you want to be picking up as many heart pieces as you can see. That it really helps if you're having to do an early dungeon dive like Templar Droplets. You don't want to be going in there with something like 4 or 5 hearts. That's really rough. Okay, we got our first Kinstone.
It was Casterwald, if I saw correctly.
Yep.
Which, who knows if we'll need those Kinstone pieces this seed?
Yeah, hopefully we get an element check soon so we can know which dungeons are required. Nothing on Cafe Lady. Oh, they're both going to push this block out of the way. Interesting.
I mean, it doesn't take that long, and you're gonna have to do it at some point.
Okay, there's a Kinstone at the back of the shop. I didn't see what was on Figurine House.
Yeah, I missed that too.
Oh, it was just some arrows.
Julieta
Okay.
also
Oh,
has a Kinstone,
and yeah.
so lots of Kinstones in town. Thanks. Trent says it was arrows at the figurine house, so nothing
Yeah.
at a visible spot. Yeah.
Yeah, Nimbus going immediately to the Tinkle Trees. Aero did one extra check in town, didn't really turn out to be anything in the mayor's basement. Yeah, this... starting off the seeds, you're always given either... There we go, there's our bombs.
There's a bomb
So
bag.
you're given
That's-
some way of breaking trees at the start, and you want to find where that is as quickly as possible. And for us, it's the bomb bag, and it was in the Tingle Trees.
Bomb bag is a
So-
nice start. Like, some of the town exits towards Minish Woods are bomb blocked, and you can get around those, but it's way faster to be able to use bombs for some of them.
Yeah, early bombs gives some nice routing because you can go and check your Rupee Cave by Link's house and then go immediately to Minish Woods that way instead of having to go back through town and then go the long way through Lon Lon Ranch.
Of course, you can also do use the back entrance to Minish Woods when you have bombs, and go through those backwards.
So they're pretty much neck and neck at this point. Nimbus is going to take the second to go and check the under the mayor. Aero's gonna go for under the school. This is a bit of a risky play. This takes so long.
Yeah, with just normal bombs, not even remote bombs, this is
Yeah.
quite a slow check. But of course, if it does have something, you're not gonna get it for a while if you don't.
It is quite a gamble. The thing is, Nimbus is
invest
about to
that time.
check 15 items, and Aero's only getting 1 here.
Yeah, the Rupee Cave, one of the early, very dense item locations.
Okay, so they'll spin attack and sword, and another bomb bag. And a whole new heart as well. And a bottle! See?
Yeah, that's a
And then
lot of good
Aero
items.
Aero got a red rupee. So... Okay, there's our map check. Deepwood and Royal Crypt are not required. So we do need all of the kinstones. Okay, Air is actually buying some more bombs here. And there's the Jabberner, okay. That's not something you want to see right at the start when you've just seen that Deepwood is not a required dungeon.
Yeah, of course, it's quite likely we will see the flippers at some point, and Juggernaut won't actually have done anything, but it does allow them to dip into Deepwood.
Yeah, they've... it could be setting up for progression in early Deepwood. Oh, there's our
the
boots.
So that's a nice find.
What are these items? Bomb bag, spin attack and sword, and bottle. I think that's actually Krenel.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense with your bomb bag to, you know, your early game routing is pretty much a solid always go to Minish Woods with the bomb bag.
Yeah, and if you find like the cane or the grip ring here, it's you don't want to have gone to the mountain and then come back and find those later. So makes sense to get those checks out of the way first.
It's also not a bad call to go to Krenel now with your 30 size bomb bag as well, because, you know, Krenel's pretty nasty when you've got 10 bombs and you have to really manage what you're doing with your bombs, but when you have 30, you really don't have to worry about it. You can do it all in one go, even if you get unlucky with bomb drops. Yeah, with the Pegasus boots, it should give them a bit more flexibility in their routing options, because it's going to reduce the amount of time it takes to get from one side of the map to the other, so they can really prioritize things that are quick and easy to check that may be far apart, so that could factor into some of their decision making.
Yeah, boots are not an ocarina, but they do speed up travel a lot still.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously you want Ocarina over Boots for your overworld travel, because Ocarina is just incredible.
Yeah, so Boots do unlock more checks, so if you can route stuff inefficiently, they might get you more items on the way.
Yeah, I don't think either of them went to the castle courtyard, which is good, because now they have the boots, they can full clear that in one go, and not have to, you know...
Well, they don't have the lamp yet, so they can't...
Oh yeah, they don't have the lamp. Yeah, that's right. But there's a
bow.
bow.
I don't think that does anything for us at this point, but...
Yeah, not yet, but it is a required item for beating the game and also for doing Fortress.
It looks like Aero is actually heading into Deepwood Shrine.
Yeah, he's looking
Isn't
at
his
it,
first
like...
map check, right? So he didn't know that Deepwood wasn't required before.
I thought he did, but maybe it was Nimbus that did it first. Okay, there's another scroll. Can't quite see which one that was.
Yeah, I didn't.
But Aero's going to find out if he's locked out of this dungeon by the... if he doesn't get a key here, then he's locked out of this dungeon and needs to come back with the Gust Jar. Okay, he gets a small key, so he can get a couple more checks now. Yeah, there are 3 more items he can get, and then he can also, if he can figure out again if he is still locked out. Yeah, Nimbus has cleared everything in Minish Woods and is going to North Hyrulefield. Oh no, they're going to...
Looks like he's going back into town, yeah. I don't think there's much to get at North Hyrulefield.
He's just got
there's the courtyard, which he can't do anything except Greyblade, but other than that...
Yeah, he's going to go for this under the school check, and... I wonder what else he's going to do here in town. He doesn't really have much else he can do.
Yeah, it's probably going to head towards Trilby and Krenner.
Yeah, I think that is the route that they're going for right now. Aero didn't get anything on his first chest. But we can see at the back, there's the boss key. It is locked behind the lantern. Potentially.
Well, potentially. Unless the keys
is...
are available, in which case you can get that with the Gust Jar, which you need to beat the boss anyways. And if you route it correctly and don't use your keys, you can.
If there is a small key on the boss, then it is lantern locked. If it's not,
it's
then
lantern locked
it's just
logically, but you can still. I don't think there's a key layout where every key is locked behind that. So you will be able to use the key there and get the key it locks with the Gust Jar.
Yeah, he's key locked. He needs his Gust Jar before he can come back.
Could potentially come back with the lantern, but I don't think you want to open yourself up for a triple dip of non-required depot shrines, so he's probably not going back there without the Gust Jar.
I mean, since he saw where the boss key is, he's going to want to check that out as soon as he gets another small key, so he can make sure that he doesn't get lantern locked.
Yeah.
Even though the logic may require you to have the lantern, just, you know, worst case scenario, you waste your small keys in other places. Yeah, so we got Nimbus going to... Yeah, Nimbus just got the Lon Ranch key, which actually does open up one check in Lon Ranch. He can go over to... he can go over to Lake Hylia, but there's not anything...
There's a sword on the...
and there was
Spring Fusion, so...
Yeah, there was a second sword.
And yes, that London key does give access to Lake Hylia, but we can't actually do anything there.
Yeah, it's just one cave. And it's the cave that's in the farm. It's the...
They do have boots, so it's also the...
Oh, he can also... Yeah, he can also do the Minish Path, that's right. Yeah, Aero's picked up his bow. He also has a bottle.
Thank you.
Yeah, honestly, there isn't much left to check. There's got to be something here on the base of Krenel, or Aero's going to find it up in the courtyard, because I don't think Nimbus checked that.
No, Nimbus did not go to the courtyard, so...
Alright, we're getting a courtyard check now. There's another bow.
That's something.
Yeah, it's possible Nimbus may not find that for a while.
Yeah, but then light arrows also don't do much, so won't hurt him.
Yeah, we only need to find one of our 2 bows. Finding both is just a very minor perk. Yeah, Nimbus
I
having
think the
to
main
go through
benefit to
this
light
too.
arrows is that the item sprite looks nice.
Yeah, this sprite looks nice. I think that's the best part of the light arrow. Yeah, this cave Nimbus is doing really sucks if you don't have the cape.
With cape it's so nice, and without it's just... You don't want to come here with low health, because you are going to take damage.
Yeah, I don't think Aero picked up anything in his first chest.
No, there's another sword on the mountain!
Okay, there's our red sword. I'm not sure if Nimbus what's Nimbus gonna do? I mean, he just grew without putting the seed on. Oh, he's gonna go back and he's gonna move the seed and then water it. I think he's gonna go for 2 more checks. The 2 more checks that are in the area above him, and then go to Western Wood. Because he could have just decided to bail from Mount Crenel right now with his red sword and go,
you got
I'm gonna get my
all of those many Western Woods Roofing Mania checks, and a large part of Castle. Got an early bow, got boots.
I mean, we've got a 15-minute red sword, so this is looking like a fairly decent seed.
Arrow, meanwhile, doing assignments. Gonna kind of slow check. You got the mountain.
Yeah, it takes a while. You want to go into here with a sword technique, either Great Spin or Roll Attack, or a second sword. That's a really optimal time to go into there. You don't want to leave it too late, because if you go in after you've already beaten a dungeon or 2, then sometimes the game bugs out and it gives you a harder fight, and that takes even longer than if you went in with just a, your basic smith sword.
Yeah, so maybe he's just preparing for the case where he finds the cane on the mountain and wants to do Cave of Flames immediately.
Yeah, so Nimbus got nothing else in the last 2 checks of Castus, of Mount Crenel, so now he's going to go and check out the Western Woods jackpot.
I'll call Molmets and at least 2 kinstones.
There's the cane.
There's 1 kinstone and the cane, okay.
Alright, that cane brings 2 more kinstones into Logic, the ones that he's got in town.
Yeah. And also do...
Yeah,
Can go to Cave of Flames with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the ability to go to Cave of Flames. He can even full clear Cave of Flames at this point. He could get it done before the 14-minute mark, which is a really early Cave of Flames time.
Might want to wait for the cape to do that, though.
Yeah. Yeah, you can speed up the Cave of Flames considerably with the cape. Okay, Aero's made his way to Mount Crenel. Hopefully he will be finding his 2 swords here, and can go and get more stuff from Western Wood as well. We've... Didn't get anything else? Yeah, that looked like Sword Beam. And a butterfly. That was his Mitz butterfly. Yes, and Nimbus is going to decide to go to Castle Wilds now. There are quite a lot of checks he can do here. He does have the bow, he doesn't have the mitts though, so he can't do everything.
Yeah, it doesn't have the mitts, doesn't have the flippers, so probably just not going to do hiking and can't get those 2.
he doesn't have the Gust Jar or the Flippers, so he can't do the Moldo to fight while Minish. He may actually want to just skip out on Minish checks right now, because...
Yeah, I don't think, like, you do the Minish checks here without having the Flippers and being able to go all the way through to that cave. So...
Yeah, with no cape and no flippers, he's actually going to have to go, and he's going to have to use the bow to be able to go to the southern area.
Yeah, doing the vanilla route with
it is particularly slow. You
tornadoes.
do have to glide as well, which kind of sucks a bit. You also can't do the checks in the top right of this area, because you either need the cape or the flippers to...
Well, for one you need the Flippers, and for the other you need the cape or the Flippers.
Yeah. Yeah, not too much he can do in Caster. Luckily, these are all quick checks he can do. All of the slow stuff is just locked behind. But he is going to go for the Minish checks. Is he? Oh, he's thinking about it. He's having a think. No, he's deciding against... Oh, is he? Oh, he's really thinking about this. Yeah, he's decided to quick warp.
Yeah, it's...
Okay, he's not even going to bother doing the southern checks. He's just bailing at this point. Yeah, he's looking.
I mean, if he finds his cape, it's gonna make that a lot faster, so you can see that.
Yeah.
Do you have Cave of Flames open?
Yeah, Cave of Flames is open. Yeah, with the Lon Lon Ranch key, he can go to Lake Hylia, but there isn't anything in Lake Hylia he can do. But in Lon Lon Ranch, he's got the cane, which means that he can do the vanilla route to Syrup's area, the North Minish Woods. I don't think we saw anything on the heart piece there, but he can also do Goron Cave and yeah, there's two things in North Minish Woods, so there's that if they want to do so. But going up the rest of Mount Crenel and going into Cave of Flames is probably the best idea right now.
Yeah, Minish Woods is the 2 checks in Northern Minish Woods, 2 checks in Goron Cave. I guess you can count the 2 checks in Lower Vale Falls.
Yeah.
And like 3 checks in London Ranch.
Now, I'd really like to see someone go and check those kinstones in town, because they could be 2
both
caster
caster
wonders.
stones then.
Yeah, then we have access to Fortress at that point. I mean, we don't have the mids, but there's still a load of stuff in Vale, in the Wind Ruins that could be checked. Yes, so Nimbus is in Cave of Flames. Really doesn't take that long to get there.
No, when you have the cane, that's... Even if you had to climb the beanstalk because you don't have the grouping, it's relatively fast access. Of course, if you don't have the cane, Cave of Flames is horrible to reach.
Yeah, the vanilla path with the grip ring is awful. It takes so long.
And it looks like arrows now, going towards the Western Woods, so...
Oh, Vanilla Cape would be pretty bad. I don't think we've ever had one that bad before.
I believe we had a cane in Cave of Flames before, right?
A cane... Oh, sorry, yeah, cane in Cave of Flames, yeah.
Like, not quite actually vanilla, but...
We've had Kane locked behind some form of progression in Cave of Flames. Like, that's a bit of a gamble. If you get Grip Ring and you don't have your Cane for a while, you start to think, okay, right, time to do that long trip round to Cave of Flames, because you're making your gambles, saying, okay, whatever I find in the Cave of Flames area, that's going to give me Cane. Oh, the Cane and the Heart piece at Cave of Flames isn't too bad, actually, because you get to see it and be like, oh, fantastic, and don't have to bail out at that point.
I mean, it's still Kane inside Cave of Flames, which...
There was another Cloudtop's Kinstone in Cave of Flames.
Those, of course, do nothing by themselves if you don't have the Veil Force Kinstone, but...
Yeah, that is still what we're kind of looking for right now.
I think they'd rather see the caster Kinstones first.
I don't know, Veil Falls is just one Kinstone, but it gives a lot of access. And they
Doesn't give a lot without the Grip Ring.
Yeah, when they get the Grip Ring as well, then they can go and check the Veil Falls rupee locations, and that is... There is a lot of locations up there. Yeah, Nimbus only found one small key in the front half of Cave of Flames.
Yeah, that small key was at the rupee spot, I think, so nothing in those 4 checks.
Apart from the Kinstone.
Apart from the Kinstone.
Yeah, so if you decided to gamble, you could have got a bit lucky if you used your small key to go around to the back, but again, there was a Kinstone at the front which was required, so you'd have to do all of this anyway. Yeah, nothing on the heart piece either. Meanwhile, Aero is... Oh, cool! There's our sword. We've got a blue sword at 25 minutes.
So what does that give us? It's... does open the Royal Valley?
Yeah, there are 2 items in Royal Valley.
One check in Veil Force behind the Kinstone, I forget there, and a check in Tower.
Yeah, at this point they can... Well, they can't do the pillar chest in town because they need the mitts to get to the left-hand side. You normally have your mitts before your blue sword, so...
Yeah, it's usually the blue sword is what's locking that chest.
Oh, and we have Hayden here to join us.
I really gotta stop sleeping over. Like, how long will I sleep?
I don't know why you're up this early.
Don't wanna ask a question, just be glad I'm here.
So yeah, we're 26 minutes in, and we've got a blue sword.
Oh, good! I didn't miss that much. I thought I was worried.
I mean, Nimbus looks like they're ahead at the moment. Aero is, I think, about 5 minutes behind. They're in Caster. They're not going to find anything, and they have their things to go up Cave of Flames when Nimbus is right now. And yeah, they just picked up their blue sword from Cave of Flames.
Oh. Oh, where are my manners? Hi, ZSR.
Oh, okay. Aero's doing an interesting route here. This is slower, because he... Wait, what? Okay, I think Aero just realised that what he was doing wasn't helpful. But he is going to go for the Minish checks in Caster. We didn't see these because Nimbus decided to bail out before checking them.
So, even though we're asking, who rolls the seed?
Trez.
What?
Now, what is Nimbus gonna do here? Is he gonna... Okay, he's gonna go through the vanilla route through the basement of Cave of Flames. I don't think he's picked up his boss key yet, so he has to do this. I mean, if you don't have your cane... if you don't have your cape in the basement of Cave of Flames, you kind of want to skip it, but if you don't have your big key, you have to do it. There's no other way around it. Yeah, but Aero's done everything in Castor Wilds. Didn't get anything, he just spent more time in there than Nimbus did. But what's he going to go for now? Oh, he's going to go back to town, and he has got the cane, so he's got some things he can do here. He's also got the boots and the sword, so he can... He's got a red sword, so there are quite a few items he can get off of the dojo. Yeah, checking out those kinstones is a good idea. I mean, that's why you check your visible spots in town, because if you see that they're all junk, then you can go, great, I can ignore town for a while. But we saw 2 kinstones, and Fortress and Palace are required, so we need to get every single kinstone. So... yeah, you don't want to be putting this off for too long. And just looking at the kinstones, you can't tell what they are. You actually need to go pick them up to see what they are. Castor Wilds. Okay, so he's got 2 Castor Wilds kinstones, and he needs to find 1 more. If the Juliet item is a Castor Wilds kinstone, and progression is in Fortress, then Aero's going to take the lead. I mean, he's still missing 1 sword from Cave of Flames, which Nimbus got. Oh, how lovely! We have a vanilla Cave of Flames big key. You had to go through the entire basement to get to the big key chest.
You don't see that every day.
Yeah, that's nasty. Especially without the cape. You just... it's so slow. There's another Castor Wilds kinstone! So Aero has all 3 of his Castor Wilds kinstones, and that is Fortress of Winds access.
Hey.
We were literally just memeing about this, and it's actually happening. I mean, he can't complete Fortress of Winds, so it's still a bit of a gamble deciding to go there early, because he doesn't have his mitts, but... if he finds some form of progression in there that leads to his mitts, this is going to put him slightly ahead. Because he's guaranteed to go to Cave of Flames eventually, because it is a required dungeon, and he will get his blue sword at that point. I mean, he hasn't taken the lead yet. It's potential. We still have no idea who is in the lead. And Nimbus looks to be slightly ahead at this point just because of the sword that they got. But those 2 kinstones that Aero just got is really strong. He's also going to be checking the school. Yeah, I want to know what there is on that the visible item spot in the school garden. And if the 4 swords are required to go get it. Okay, it's just a bundle of arrows. But once he's done that, he's also going to check the school roof. Okay, Nimbus has got his first element at 33 minutes in. That's a really fast time for beating Cave of Flames. And there's his map. Yeah, Aero making sure to get this this Minish Fairy. You don't want to be orphaning this spot. But they are going to be going to... it looks like their routing at the moment is taking them to Lower Vale Falls. There are 2 items that they can pick up there. Yeah, Malari didn't have anything, and neither did the path in Malari's mines. Now, is this last just going to have anything? I hope Nimbus did the save before opening this up. Oh, he did! Excellent. So he's going to do the save scum here, getting to go to the entrance of Cave of Flames instantly, not having to backtrack through Malari's mines. Very nice. Yeah, so basically, if the cape is locked behind the blue sword in some way, then you could have skipped Cave of Flames. Yeah, Aero getting those checks done in Lon Lon Ranch does have does find his roll attack there. Right, now Nimbus, where do they want to go? They have either going to town as an option, or they can go to Lon Lon Ranch and get a bunch of checks done there. They're going to go here in town. Yeah, they want to use their cane and get a couple of these Minish checks done. They've already seen where their 2 kinstones are. If they pick both of those up and get, they'll get their 2 Caster Wilds kinstones, and that will give them fortress access. Yeah, looking like junk in Lon Lon. Okay, Aero's gonna go for the vanilla route in Lon Lon Ranch. Going to go to the gonna go to Syrup's area, North Minish Woods. You have to use the cane there and then glide down here in the vanilla game. This is the side quest to get your Pegasus boots. Now, is there anything going to be on Syrup? And then after he's done Syrup, he can check the Goron Cave. Yeah, nothing on Syrup. Now, it's looking really likely that there's going to be progression in the Wind Ruins, because we've seen basically everything else done. Yeah, we do joke that when you get your blue sword, you have your master sword. Right, first chest in the Goron Cave doesn't give anything, and second chest is nothing. Okay, so London Ranch and North Minish Woods was a bust. I mean, did we see Karlov get checked? Because I don't think anyone went over to that side of town. Karlov and the Fountain have 2 items in town, but other than that, oh yeah, then there's 2 items at the entrance to Royal Crypt, the graveyard area, Royal Valley. Other than those, it's got to be in Wind Ruins. And there's a load of items in Wind Ruins as well. Even though they don't have their mitts, I think it's worth the gamble right now to go to Wind Ruins. Aero did pick up his milk. Yeah, use the London Ranch key as well as opening and giving access to the back end of London Ranch and Lake Hylia. It also makes Malon appear in town, so you can go and get milk from her.
Which also puts a blockade for some people that like to eat their good food. So it's not usually always seen that we get Mallow to show up in town.
Aero is going to make the play now to Castle Wilds, and he's activating his fusions right now. Nimbus had a look at his kinstones. He sees he has all 3 of the Castle Wilds kinstones. Gonna have to make a decision now. Is going to Fortress without the mitts a good idea? He hasn't done all of the checks here in town yet, so he doesn't know if it's going to be worthwhile or not. Aero still hasn't gone to Cave of Flames though, so Aero's got a Cave of Flames in the back of his head. Is like, he's making a gamble here that Fortress is going to be required, and I think this is going to really pay off for Aero. Oh yeah, absolutely. Any area that has a bunch of Rupee Mania spots is really important to go and check. I mean, here in the Wind Ruins there is a Beanstalk, but it's only got 1 item because there's just a big chest at the top of it. If they do find their Grip Ring, then they can go to the Beanstalk at the top of Mount Krenel. That's got loads of... Okay, Karlov Medal! And we've seen one of the items in Karlov's house, in the figurine house, and it is junk. So there's potential 3 items being in there. Yeah, to be honest, missing a sword and the Cloudtop's Kinstone that Aero is missing in Cave of Flames isn't bad at all. You don't really need those until later on, and he's pretty much guaranteed to go to Cave of Flames way before he needs those 2 items. Like, after he's done Fortress, I don't think there's much more he's going to do before he goes to go up to Cave of Flames, so going to Fortress now is going to help him a lot. Yeah, Nimbus forgot that he skipped that chest in Westernwood. He only opened the door, but never actually went in to grab the chest, and that was his second bottle. Oh yeah, if we find the graveyard, well, we're still looking for the lantern. It doesn't matter if they get the graveyard key right now. Sure, they can go to the back of the graveyard with the graveyard key and the boots. But it's a complete sequence break. They need the lantern to be able to get through Lost Woods. At least logically. If they get anything in the graveyard, then they can use that to determine where the lantern might be. Yeah, the lantern is going to be required this seed. They need to kill Octo, and it's impossible to do without the lantern. I I mean, we're still looking for a lot of items. We still need our Gust Jar, Mitts, Lantern, Cape, Grip Ring, more Kinstones. There's still a load of stuff we're waiting for. Okay, there's the flippers. That might be it. Aero's gonna have a little think now. He's deciding to go into Fortress. But yeah, flippers give a load of items in the overworld right now. Okay, Nimbus is going for the play as well. They're going to be going... They're doing their Southern Castle Wilds checks now, and they'll be making use of their Kinstones to go and check Fortress. They'll be finding their flippers as well. Now, one of the things the flippers does is gives access to Templar droplets. It might not be worth actually going there because they don't have any of the items to do a lot of the checks there, like the cape, the Gust Jar, or the lantern.
Well, there is also the odd chance that there actually may be something there that's starting. We don't know.
Yeah, there are 5 items that they can get basically at the start, so...
So literally anything can happen.
Yeah, Aero is in Fortress right now without the mitts. I'm thinking that those flippers were his progression point, and he's not going to get anything else in Fortress. He doesn't get anything on the left side rupees, and that's basically half of the items that he can even get right now, because there's so much that's locked behind the that's locked behind the mitts.
Yeah. When you're first going in here, there's not really too much to do, so we can only do so much. On the bright side, we can at least do some of the boat checks. If there is 4 that's done in silver, we can knock.
I mean, there isn't even any way to get to the underwater pot in Templar droplets. They need to find the Gust Jar or the cape first before they can get to it, because they need to get over to the switch where the mushroom is.
Yeah.
In Templar droplets, but they can check the rupee path before that. And we also haven't even seen anything in Lake Hylia, so there's a bunch of stuff in Lake Hylia they can do. There's a bunch of Minish checks. Oh, we're actually going to see required, or possibly required, a vanilla push block puzzle here by Aero. Yeah, you want to push it one more. Yeah, you don't need to push that bottom block actually, so he's fine. He can make just a row, a column. Yeah, like that, and then he can just walk his clones through the block. Cool. Right, what's he gonna get from this drop? It's a Swookie. Yeah, it's very rare that we ever see you do that room like that. You pretty much always use the cape. The cape just lets you jump over the gap. Oh, there's a Kinstone!
Ooh.
Aero just noticed that. Okay, so there isn't the mitts aren't in Wind Tribe or Palace of Winds. Oh, if that's a Vale Falls Kinstone, then the mitts aren't in Vale Falls at all. But we don't know. That could be... It could be either a Cloudtops or a Vale Falls Kinstone. Yeah, the cape is such an incredibly broken item in this game. Aero finding another bomb bag, up to 50, more than enough.
I think 50 is usually a good bonus. You don't really ever need to hit the last one.
Oh, Nimbus dies at the end of Wind Ruins before he can make his way to the last chest. Yeah, that really hurts. Yeah, those enemies there kind of suck, and you have to kill them all to be able to make your way through. And it was right before he got the flippers as well, which really hurts. I wonder if Nimbus is going to go into Fortress, or if he's going to get his flippers and be like, okay, that's my progression, and then leave. Because Aero's not really getting paid off for anything he's doing right now. He can do 2 more checks. He can, after this key drop, then there's the big chest in the main room. Yeah, there's nothing there. So he can go and do the big chest in the main part of the dungeon, but after that, I guess he could use a small key to go to the back and like do a bit of a gamble, but okay, he's not even... Oh, right, okay, he is going back. He just realized about the big chest there and he's gonna grab it.
So, Nip, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think we'll see a double dip of Fortress?
Oh, yeah, guaranteed. Wait, from Nimbus or from Aero? Because Aero is guaranteed at least a double
From
dip.
both, because we do have to remember what seed this is.
Nimbus decides to go into Fortress. It may not be required double dip. No, it's not required double dip at all. It can't actually be a required double dip unless Aero gets something from this last chest here. No, even in that case, because you could lock yourself out with keys, it is guaranteed to not be a double dip Fortress. It's done in one trip. Because Aero didn't find anything in here that's gonna lead him onto stuff. He got the flippers outside Fortress. No, this is a Trez seed. Yeah, it's very likely that your progression was the flippers there, and you have to double dip Wind Ruins, but yeah, not double dip Fortress.
Yeah, with being 50 minutes in, I don't know why people are so terrified of your sea treads. They seem so fun to me.
I mean, no mitts right now is super trolley. This is like...
I'm used to
This has
it.
the potential to be super bad.
I'm used to it, so...
And flippers at the end of Wind Ruins as your progression? That's awful. Yeah, Nimbus is not even okay, he is actually going to bother picking up that wallet. He has seen all of the items in the shop and it's all junk, so there is no need to get it. Okay, Aero is going to go and do the time investment here into checking the hiking spot and also the 2 minish spots in the top left of Caster. This is quite a serious time investment for only 4 checks in total.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the rest of the overworld, there is a lot that is opened up by because of the flippers. Yeah, Aero had already spent time doing these minish checks without the flippers, so he's having to double dip this, so, you know, losing a bit of time here. If Nimbus goes and does these, and if there's progression at the end of hiking, then Nimbus is going to save quite a substantial amount of time. Right, there's a heart container. That brings Aero up to 10 hearts. So that's going to let him go to check Wave Blade when he makes his way to Minish Woods. There's the Tingle Trophy at the end of hiking in Castor Wilds.
Question is Tingle going to be useful or is Tingle going to be trash?
Nimbus spotting his kinstone in Fortress, having a think about that. I mean, if there's a sword on Green Shoe, that's pretty nuts.
But wouldn't the most logical explanation be having a sword on Octo for the game?
I mean, Octo is required. Green Shoe is not. Okay, Aero's checking Tingle. It's a book!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! We have a sequence of fetch quests going on. Okay, Aero's getting Karlov done now that he's got the flippers. He's still got a few more things to do in town now that he's acquired his flippers. Oh, he's gonna go for the fountain. I mean, fountains are good to go for right now because you've got your flippers and you've got your cane, so you can see what all of the items are. There is one that you can't get, but you can see it, so you can always know if you need to come back later with your cape. There's a third bottle for Aero. Oh yeah, and Aero's going to make use of the Karlov medal that he found. And it's all junk. Aero's going to buy a second bottle of Lon-Lon milk. Oh, he's going to buy 3? Okay, he's filled up all of his bottles with Lon-Lon milk.
Did I mention he really likes his Lon-Lon milk?
I mean, yeah. You're not gonna be at that much risk of dying, are you?
I mean, it's a trust seed. He's very worried.
He's already at 10 hearts. He should be pretty good at that point. You just need one fairy in a bottle in case you die, and then, you know... Oh, there's his grip ring.
So he's probably finally gonna go to Cave of Flame. But I think that's what he was doing. He was waiting for Grip Ring to not have to go for the full trip.
I mean, he could... he's already opened up all of the base of Mount Krenel, so it's exactly the same speed with or without the grip ring to get to Cave of Flames.
Actually, no. I think I know what he was actually trying to do. I think he was holding off on going to Cave of Flames because he wanted to see if he could find Grip Ring first so he could do also his other 2 checks after he finished Cave of Flames.
Yeah, because there is the Beanstalk after... that's at the top of Mount Krenel that he can do now, and yeah, he is going for that. He's going to go up to Cave of Flames. He'll be finding his Blue Sword and a Cloudtop's Kinstone in Cave of Flames. And he may also find some more stuff at the top of Mount Krenel, because Nimbus didn't have the grip ring when they came up here, so they can check that. Right, what is Nimbus going to do? They finally left Fortress Winds and Castor with their flippers. He didn't go for the hiking spot in Castor Wilds. He's completely avoided both of those. And there's another book for Aero in the in Grey Blade.
Now I'm getting the idea. We're gonna see Ocarina.
Now we're 2 items away from being able to check Yolari. That is another book and the Ocarina. Aero doesn't check the divisible items at the entrance of Cave of Flames, but he is going to go back in. I think he wanted to. Okay, he is actually going to go through all of Cave of Flames now. He just wanted to make sure that he hit the warp point outside. Nimbus, meanwhile, is going to be using their flippers in town to get some town checks. We found our grip ring in the castle moat. So when Nimbus goes over there, they're going to find that. The grip ring is required because Palace is required, and the only way to get to Palace is by using the grip ring up Vale Falls. He is going to be doing Cuckoo Game. Yeah, Nimbus doing the Cuckoo Game with plenty of time left over. Unfortunately, Angie doesn't have anything today.
What is Angie? Anything besides that plan?
I mean, she was supposed to have a Peril Beam.
She was like, I'm not gonna have what you need. So I'm just gonna make the seat unbeatable.
Yeah, we never saw Aero actually go into the fountain. I think he used his bottle of water on the fireplace, but he never went in there. Nimbus is going to be using his Lon Lon Ranch key to go to Lon Lon Ranch because he's got his flippers. He can go and do checks in Lake Hylia now.
And he can also dip droplet.
Right, Aero finds his second Cloud Top Skipstone. Now he's only going to find one more thing here in Cave of Flames, and that's going to be his blue sword. The blue sword not really going to be doing anything for Aero. It doesn't open up any additional checks, apart from 2 at the entrance to Royal Valley, and then it doesn't increase the damage of your sword. So.
Well, we're in territories with iron. I'm gonna make it. I will be right back.
Right, so where is our next progression? Nimbus has a lot of checks we haven't seen yet over here. He's what's he gonna do now? He is going to be doing these checks that we saw Aero do earlier, which is the checks in Lon Lon Ranch and to North Minish Woods. But if he goes to Southern Vale Falls, there are 4 items we haven't seen there. And if he goes into Lake Hylia again, there's going to be a bunch of stuff there that we haven't seen yet. Aero's doing very well on hearts, and Nimbus has skipped out a lot. Yeah, there was a heart container in hiking, so he's missing out on that. Aero's going to be picking up his blue sword now. Now they're both just looking for one more sword, but we're still nowhere near go mode. We're still looking for a lot of items. We need the Gust Jar, we need the mitts, we need the cape, and we need another, was it another 3 kinstones? No, another 4 kinstones. Oh, and we need the lantern. There's still so much left to get. Yeah, Nimbus just clearing up these chicks in North Minish Woods. Well, now what do they want to do? I think they're going to do Goron Cave now, and then they have a choice of options to do after that. It'd probably be a good idea to go to Vale Falls, summon Vale Falls from the Goron Cave, because it's a really quick check, and there are items there we haven't seen. Yeah, the Lon Lon Milk's pretty decent health restore item. So the fairies in this game only restore 4 hearts. They do activate when you die, but 4 isn't that much health. And yeah, the Lon Lon Milk restores 8, and it has 2 uses, so that's pretty good. There is blue and red milk. Blue and red potions in this game that you can get from Syrup the Witch. They're the opposite way round to what you normally expect from blue and red milk. I keep on saying blue and red milk again. Is it 5 each use? I've never used the Lon Lon Milk, so I thought it was 8. But yeah, so the blue potion restores 8 hearts, and the red potion restores all of your hearts from Syrup. So the Lon Lon Milk can possibly be better than even the best potion, depending on how many hearts you have. Is it 5 hearts per use of milk? Okay. Yeah, in which case, if you have less than, if you have more than 10 hearts, then red milk. I keep on saying red milk. Red potion is just better. Yeah, Aero getting. Okay, Nimbus sees a kinstone in Lake Hylia. Yeah, bracelets are required, so that is another item that we are going to be looking for. Nimbus can't get the scroll on Waveblade because he's only at... is that 9 hearts? I think he's at 9. I think he needs 1 more to get to 10 hearts, and then he can check that. I don't know, if I was in Aero's position in Cave of Flames and I got to the red portal and I didn't have the boss key and I didn't have the cape, I would actually consider just bailing out at that point. He's got a bunch of checks he can do up on the top of Mount Krenel. It's not going to hurt him at all to go and check those first because he's just activated the red warp, so he can... If he finds the cape up Mount Krenel, he's going to absolutely kick himself for having to do this entire basement without the cape. Yeah, so Nimbus and Aero are both looking for 4 kinstones, and we know where 2 of them are. One is at the lake house in the lake cabin in Lake Hylia, and another one is in Fortress of Winds. The grip ring was in the moat. Yeah, so Nimbus hasn't gone to the castle courtyard yet, but when they do, they will they'll probably be routing in the moat at the same time and get their grip ring. The Nimbus is going to go for Templar droplets. I didn't see what the central heart piece in North Lake Hylia was. I'm assuming that was junk.
I mean, most likely.
But yeah, Nimbus is going to be making that play into Templar droplets. Yeah, meanwhile, Aero's fighting the Hyrulean Lapras, a rare species of Pokemon. I think Aero's trying to point something out. Keeps on bonking into the wall. Maybe there's something on the wall.
Could be.
I don't really notice anything that's on the walls, chat. Do you notice anything? Wait a second. It's an incredibly overused joke. Yeah, Nimbus is having to do the vanilla block push puzzle because they don't have the lantern. That's kind of the gamble that you make when you go to Templar Droppers without the lantern. It's like you have to spend some extra time there at the entranceway. Right, Aero has finished up the fight. Nimbus is going to be checking this path, and they get 2 small keys and a heart container. And there's the graveyard key! I mean, the graveyard key doesn't open anything else in logic right now, because we need the lantern. But Nimbus could sequence break into Royal Crypt and see what's there. If we see something like the cape or a kinstone there, then that really narrows down where the lantern could be.
Indeed.
I mean, we already know that one kinstone's locked behind the mitts, so we're not going to be finding the mitts up in Palace of Winds or the Wind Tribe. Alright, it looks like Nimbus has got everything in Lake Hylia, and they need to just find progression somewhere else. They found lots of important information, but they didn't find any progression.
I'm going to say there are progressions on the upper Mount Colonel.
Yeah, Aero still hasn't gone there. They finished Cave of Flames, but are going to do these checks first in Milari's mines. Nimbus has already done them, and they're all junk. Oh, Aero's doing a second save after that point. I think he forgot to save whilst in Cave of Flames. Or when he was at the entrance to Cave of Flames. So he's going to have to do a very small amount of backtracking in here instead. Aero. He did the save to do the save scum, but then completely forgot about it. And he's going to backtrack his way through Milari's mines. Yeah, we saw Nimbus save time here, not having to do any of this backtracking. He just save scummed right back to the beginning of Cave of Flames. Yeah, Nimbus is in the castle courtyard. He's not going to find anything in the courtyard, but if he goes to the moat straight afterwards, he's going to be finding his grip ring.
So hopefully we see Aero going to the upper Mount Colonel so we can see if there's any progression there, because that should be the play.
Yeah, definitely. He's gonna go all the way to the the rain check, and then bail out at that point. Oh, Nimbus already went to the moat first and picked up the grip ring. Yeah, he's now doing the some of the Sphere Zero checks. Things that you should do in the first 5 minutes. And there's his second bow. Not something that really hurts him, but I think that's going to give him a bit of a chuckle. He's staying well clear of Royal Valley, making no intention of going in there. He's got 2 checks in logic that are at the entrance that he can check, and then he can always go into the back with of the graveyard. There it is! There's our cape and the gust jar. Aero is absolutely kicking himself over having to do the entire basement of Cave of Flames without the cape. If they went and checked this before going into Cave of Flames, they would have had the cape and would have skipped minutes out of having to do the basement. Nimbus is hot on Aero's heels right now. He's going to be going up Mount Crenel as well, getting his cape and his gust jar. This is turning into a really close one. Aero's going to quick warp out when he gets to the when he's done this rain check, and then he's going to have to climb back down the mountain. Nimbus, on the other hand, he's already got the quick warp at the base of Mount Crenel. So when he's done these checks, he's going to be able to quick warp, and he'll be right at the base of Mount Crenel. So these guys could be finishing up Mount Crenel neck and neck. Yeah, it looks like Aero is going to be getting out of Mount Crenel slightly faster than Nimbus. Nimbus still has to climb up the wall first and get to the beanstalk. Yeah, the Rupee Mania locations are huge. You can never discount them. Yeah, so if you would like to get into the randomizer, we have a Discord, and the link's just been posted by the bot there. So yeah, go to the Minish Maker Discord, and all of the relevant information for the randomizer is available there. The tracker we use to keep track of all of your item locations and what you have access to is Emo Tracker. So if you've ever played any other Zelda randomizer, then it's the same tracker as that. Now, the Gust Jar is just given access to Deepwood Shrine. Deepwood Shrine isn't a required dungeon in this seed, but we've already had a dip into there and noticed that the boss key was on a spot located right at the back of the dungeon.
Yeah, also, Aero was attempting to Anju, but that stopped, so he tried to drown himself.
Okay, Aero's now going to be going to is going to go to Lake Hylia. Having got his cape and Gust Jar, that gives him access to do more checks in Templar Droplets than Nimbus did, but it's still going to take him the same amount of time Nimbus did, because they still both don't have the lantern. Okay, Nimbus picks up his cape and Gust Jar. He's got one more check on Mount Crenel. He's going to be doing the rain check, and then he's going to be leaving and going into doing a lot of checks in the overworld. Yeah, that's right. They also got the mushroom, so that's something that they want to check. Okay, Aero's going to be spending some time not getting anything from these Minish checks in Lake Hylia.
Link doing a dumb there with Kate.
Yeah, Nimbus having a think now is like, okay, I just got the Cape and Gust Jar, what do I want to prioritize right now? Oh, if Rem has the last book, this is a ridiculous seed. No, Ocarina is going to be in Ocarina's going to be up in Palace of Winds, and Four Swords are going to be on Yellari. So Rem is the cobbler in town. He's the guy that's asleep on the counter that makes you your boots. You take the wake up mushroom to him, and he gives you an item. Yeah, this game has a bunch of fetch quest items, which are just a single-use item. You give it to someone, you get another item out. So there's the wake up mushroom. We give it to Rem, we get an item. There's the Tingle trophy. We give that to Tingle, we get an item. There's the dog food. We take it to the dog here in Lake Hylia, and we get an item. Karlov medal as well. You take that to the figurine house, and you get 4 items in there. So the Karlov medal is a little bit more powerful.
Yes.
Yeah, Nimbus is making his way into the fountain. Only sees junk on that heart piece, but he's gonna grab the other 2 items that are here. I don't think we've had anyone go into the fountain yet.
Not that I'm aware.
Yeah, no one's going for the graveyard. The graveyard is not a required location. Nimbus is the only one that's got the graveyard key. Aero didn't pick up the graveyard key, did he?
No, he didn't.
No, because the graveyard key's at the entrance of Temple of Droplets, but he decided that he didn't want to do Temple of Droplets. With the Cape and the Gust Jar, it does mean that he can do the vanilla route through Temple of Droplets, but he doesn't really want to do that. He wants to find his lantern so he can do it the fast way.
I don't know.
I mean, if the lantern is located somewhere in Temple of Droplets, you have to go there with your Gust Jar and Cape and do it the vanilla method.
Yeah.
Like, he can go all the way to Blue Chew. So anything that's up to the Blue Chew in Logic in Temple of Droplets, he has access to right now. Lantern and Deepwood Shrine is not a bad shout. There are quite a lot of items in Deepwood. We only had a small dip from Aero. I don't think Nimbus went in there at all. But yeah, with the Gust Jar, they can full clear Deepwood. There's also the Flipper's Cave at the entrance to Minish Woods. Don't think we've had that check yet. Yeah, there's another bomb bag. We have found all of our bomb bags. Right, that looks like everything in town. I don't think there's anything else that we can do in town. What does Nimbus want to do? Nimbus has a couple of checks here in South Hyrule Field. Like, he's going to go to Greagle, and he's going to get Greagle's first item. Yeah, Octo can't have the lantern because you need the lantern to kill Octo, and you also need the lantern to be able to reach his boss room anyway. Yeah, we don't get anything on Greagle. I don't think Nimbus checked the flipper hole that's by Link's house. He just decided to go to Minish Wood straight away. There's the mitts. So the mitts were available ages ago. As soon as they had the they got the flippers from outside Fortress of Winds, they could have gone to this check and got the mitts, and it's taken them both a very long time before they found their mitts.
No.
That has opened up a lot of locations. Nimbus deciding that they're done in there, and they're not going to go to Deepwood now. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff they could follow up with the mitts. What is Nimbus doing? Oh, he's going for Fortress. He's like, that's it, I'm going to Fortress.
It's not the worst call. Fortress could actually have stuff because of how early we have access to it.
Yeah, and there's a Kinstone there. He wants to know what that Kinstone's going to have. Because we saw 2 Kinstones in... Okay, Aero, hot on his heels, also picking up the mitts. These guys are just trading backwards and forwards this lead. It's just swapped around so many times now, I can't keep track. And they're not letting each other get a substantial lead either, they're staying super close together.
They are doing really good at staying close together, so this is going to be a tight match now?
Yeah, I could completely see them both doing Dark Horror Castle at the same time, and it coming down to how well they can do the they can execute the bosses. Right, we're going to see what Aero's going to decide to do. Nimbus has made their way to Fortress. Surprised they didn't check what the Kinstone is right away, but they were in no rush. And it looks like Aero is going to make the same play as well. They're going to rush Fortress. No?
Oh?
Oh, he wants to do Greagle first.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, Greagle is along the way. It does take a small amount of time having to go up the staircases and through the portals.
But it could also pay off at the same time. So, not the worst call.
Yeah, so what are we looking for Go Mode? We're looking for 2 more Kinstones, the lantern and a sword, so with 4 items. We're looking for right now. We know where we're looking for 4 Kinstones, but we know where 2 of them are because one's here in Fortress. Nimbus is about to pick that up now, and we saw another one in Lake Hylia. That's Vale Falls.
Oh boy.
Now, nothing in Vale Falls is in logic yet because they don't have the lantern. So, because they're looking for the lantern now...
I'm willing to bet that lantern was sitting in Fortress.
Is it going to be here in Fortress?
I want to say that's the case because of how we had access to flippers so soon. Like, it isn't far-fetched anymore that something else is in Fortress.
I don't know, I'm thinking something like Hype Cave.
I can see Hype Cave too, but I really think it's gonna be Fortress. If it's not, then Hype Cave is my second best bet of where our lamp is.
Remember, the mitts open up a lot of digging locations in the overworld.
They do.
Yeah, there's 3 chests in Trilby. There's was there 5 chests in town? There's the Farmer Mitts cave in Eastern Hills. We have 3 chests in Minish Woods. There's Hype Cave, which is 11 items in Lake Hylia. and a 12th one in the center cave. There's Vale Falls. The South Vale Falls has 2 caves which have 2 each. There are a lot of locations that the MITS has. There's also the Orphan Cave at the top of Mount Crenel. They had to go all the way up there to get their cape and their gust jar. They could have had their MITS when they went there.
There's just so much we could be seeing the seed, and I love it.
I mean, they're just the required items we're looking for. Oh yeah, another required item we need, power bracelets. They need to get to that kinstone that's on the cabin in Lake Hylia. They need to get their power bracelets so that they can actually get to it.
There is so much that we still need to find in this seed, and we're not.
Yeah.
We're already at the end of it.
Yeah, we're at 1 hour 30 right now, and we're still looking for so much. Okay, there's a butterfly for Aero.
So, Myth, I'm realizing a trend here. So far throughout this tournament, from what I know, is we've had quite some few of Jet Seed. So I'm gonna ask you this: do you think we're gonna have a lot of Jet Seed to come in the tournament?
Oh no, I think we were lucky to get so many Jet Seas at the start. The last one was pretty nasty. Was it yesterday? Yeah. And I think this one's going to be pretty nasty as well. Alright, so Nimbus has got 2 elements down. Finding their irony element, the wind element in Fortress of Winds. In the vanilla game, you go to Fortress expecting to get the wind element there, but when you get to the end, you read that tablet and it's like, oh, the wind tribe left and took the element with them. And you get the ocarina instead. These guys are just neck and neck right now. Aero hasn't done the boss yet, but they're going to be using their small keys at the back. I think Aero picked up his big key. It was on one of the sides at the front of the dungeon, right?
I believe so.
Okay, this is third small key. I think we're looking at a small key on the either clone puzzle or on the in the dirt room that you have to hit the switch. Yeah, Nimbus is making their way there. I think this is the last part of the dungeon for them. They have nothing else left to get.
The seed has been sucking up today. We can say that.
Yeah, those flippers at the end of Wind Ruins were something. Alright, Nimbus is getting the doing the statue puzzle. Ooh, they're gambling. They're gonna try and get through there without killing the rope. They kill the rope. The rope doesn't break their clones. There's the map. I think they've got the map and the compass now. So we're guaranteed to get a small key on this Minish chest, and then is going to be a small key that drops off of the switch when he turns Minish here, and then that's going to let him go to the big chest at the end of the dungeon, the skullful chest, and we're going to find out if that is going to be some form of progression. Quite unlikely at this point, but you never know.
Anything is still possible.
Right, Aero finishes up the boss now. They've done everything in Fortress except for the area that Nimbus is in now. And okay, Aero was thinking about it for a second, but decides, no, I'm gonna go and check the back. Right, Nimbus gets nothing from the chest. I didn't see him open it, but I don't think he got anything. But yeah, that's it for Fortress of Winds. Yeah, it was just a groupie. Right, so now what else is there to do? Really, it's just Mitt's overworld locations and Templar droplets and Deepwood. Yeah, they're pretty much the three spots that you have to like choose between right now. It's like, do you want to go around the overworld doing your Mitt spots? Do you want to do Templar droplets? It's required, but you have to do it the slow way because you don't have your lantern. Or do you go to Deepwood, which is not required?
There's really no limitations on what they can do right now, so it's like you really have to consider your choices wisely when it's like at the end of the seed, basically, at this point. So all of your choices matter at this point when there's so much to do and so little check that you really need to pick up.
I mean, for item density, I would go for the Mitts checks in the overworld.
I would too.
There's a lot that you can get done, and it looks like that's what Nimbus is going to do.
Yeah, Mitts checks seem like the best play right now for both our runners. So I'm right there with you on that.
I mean, yeah, just if you... Aero's already been hurt by having to do a dungeon the long way, and same with Nimbus, having to do Cave of Flames the long way without the cape lost a lot of time.
Yes.
And for Nimbus, they did it really early on, so it would have... you know, it didn't really hurt them too much by finding the cape much later on. But Aero found the cape immediately after doing it, so he could have easily saved several minutes there by grabbing his cape earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aero making use of his Lon milk. Yep, it does heal by 5 hearts. Yeah, Nimbus getting the Mitts checks done in town. He's going to push this boulder out of the way, and then when he gets to the end of the Mitts cave, he can do the pillar chest.
But yeah, in all general, I can say for the good seed, and I'm not worried for a church seed. After the people told me, you're asking for trouble, you're asking for a death wish.
I mean, it's... I would say this is pretty nasty. It's one of the bad ones. There's the lantern. Okay, great job by Nimbus finding the lantern before going to Temple of Droplets. I mean, they've already done a dip into the beginning part of it. Aero's going to be hot on their tail, also going for Overworld's mid spots.
It could just be the highlight troll seed.
Yeah, it looks like everything was locked behind the flippers this seed. Yeah, because we needed the flippers to get to the mitts, which were in the Minish Flipper Cave, and also to the grip ring that were in the moat. The grip ring gave us our cape and our gust jar, and the mitts gave us our lantern. Yeah, at this rate, it looks like Deepwood is not going to be required. Unfortunately, what that lantern also did is it brought Royal Valley into logic. Nimbus has the graveyard key for to get to the back of Royal Valley. However, yeah, so at this point, we are looking for 2 more Kinstones, the Power Bracelets, and the Force Sword. Shall we get a bet going? Shall we have a bet for where we think the Force Sword's going to be?
I mean, we can. I'm always fine with a Force-sword bet.
Yeah, we know where 1 Kinstone is. We're looking for 2 more. Well, we need to. Both of our runners are 3 Kinstones away, but we saw one in.
What's a bet where Force-sword is?
Yeah. I mean, we may find it right now in the.
We could, but
in Hype Cave.
I mean, what are the off chance of that? I'm gonna put in my bet.
Alright, so put your bets in chat. Where do you think the Force Sword's going to be? Wait, we've already got the 4th sword.
I'm going for the meme.
I mean, it's not much of a mean when Octo is required.
So I'm going for the meme.
It would be nice if it was an Octo. It wouldn't be...
It wouldn't be cruel, but I want the meme.
I'm surprised no one bet Fan Loop in Fortress. In Palace. But yeah, outside of the Force Sword, we're looking for the Power Bracelets so we can get one of our Kinstones, and then 2 more Kinstones after that. Oh, you... Yeah, so the bet is actually where the 4th sword is, and we know that's in Cave of Flames. But yeah, Nimbus has done Hype Cave. There was nothing there, and it's time to go into Temple of Droplets. Great that they got the lantern and don't have to do the vanilla route through. Yeah, why is the 4th sword the 5th sword?
I mean, why not?
Do you think Nimbus is gonna do Blue Chew?
I'm hoping for it.
I mean, I wouldn't. At this point, they don't know where their map and compass are. I think they just checked, and I didn't see if they had the map or compass.
I don't think.
I think they had the compass.
I think. No, they do have the compass because it was at the first segment of the dungeon.
Yeah.
It was on our first big chest, so they do have
Right.
compass.
We don't know where the map is, though. The map could be on the Blue Chew, so you don't want to do the Blue Chew until you find your map.
Yeah.
Then you can... If you don't find your map and you've done everything, including Octo, then you can be like, Blue Chew's got the map, don't need to do it.
Exactly. So, really, we want to see that potential map, so we don't have to see Blue Chew, unless you're me who wants to see Blue Chew have to be faced. Because I'm crazy enough to think that.
Yeah, when's someone going to make a ROM hack with 6 swords and we get the Picori blade? The purple blade?
That's a good question. I don't know.
This is such a close race right now. I don't think we've had a closer race.
No, we haven't.
Nimbus is slightly ahead at this point. Aero didn't go into Templar Droplets yet, so they're having to spend some time doing these, doing the entrance section. But Nimbus had to do this entrance section without the lantern, so that lost him some time earlier. So Aero's getting to do this slightly faster. Oh, Aero doesn't like the look of that graveyard key. It's like, no, no. The graveyard key opens up the graveyard, which is not required. There is no element there, but you never know. There could be a 4-sword on the first Gibdo.
Mm-hmm. We had it during my race. It could happen.
I like to bet that the 4-sword's there.
If it is, I would be surprised, because that would be our second seed in this tournament that had 4 swords on Gilbo. See, now I want to see 4 swords on first Gilbo.
Or a Kinstone.
Ooh! I would like that.
Yeah,
too.
honestly, it's not unreasonable to suspect that there is a Kinstone in the graveyard. We still don't know where 2 of them are. Though, all of Vale Falls is open now. We could have both of our Kinstones there.
We could.
And I think it is likely that we're going to see Nimbus and Aero go there straight away after doing Octo.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, Nimbus not even bothering to go and check the basement. Aero, on the other hand, is going to go for Blue Chew, deciding that they don't want to backtrack here later on and to do the fight now. I think we've already had our Uber trolls for the seed so far.
I would believe so too.
Yeah, Blue Chew is a pretty awful boss fight. It's my least favourite boss in the entire game. It's pure RNG, how long he decides to do his jumps, and even though the electricity is scripted, RNG can just completely screw you over and mean that he jumps anytime he's vulnerable, and you just don't have enough time to use the Gust Jar on him. But Aero gets a decent fight. Now we're going to see what is on in the chest. My feed for Aero decided to die just as he opened the chest. I didn't see what he got. I'm guessing it was junk because no one reacted. Okay, it was just a red rupee. Yeah, meanwhile, Nimbus is nearly at the end of the long path to the second switch. They will be saving before going into here. Yeah, lots of people were afraid of getting the soft lock here in Temple of Droplets, or the crash actually. If you roll in this Matterpillar fight and toggle your lantern on or off at the end of your roll, it has a very high chance of crashing.
Yeah, so we try to avoid rolling while toggling the lamp and jump.
Yeah. Also in the Octo fight, when you there are certain stages of the fight that if you roll, it will crash. So you also want to get a consistent fight for Octo and not try and wing it, because if you crash, then that's going to lose a huge amount of time.
Yeah.
We have no clue why it crashes.
We're still trying to figure that out.
We just know that it does, and the actions that cause it to crash, but we don't know on a memory level why it crashes. Possibly because there's too many effects going on. I didn't think those were particularly intensive rooms, but there's a lot of stuff going on. There's lots of particle effects that go on when you use a lantern and when you roll. Matterpillar's moving around. Octo as well has lots of particle effects going on as well. But really, it's all just educated guesses. We don't know for sure.
But time will tell.
Anyone that knows how the game works has tried testing it and could never replicate the crash. So they could never determine what the cause was. Right, Nimbus is not going for Octo Minute, but so they're going to be using their sword on this fight. Did we have a shield? No, we don't have a shield. So he couldn't even try and do Octo Minute even if he wanted to. I mean, we've known about this crash for several bumps now. We just tell everyone to get that red warp and save, because if you get to the red warp and save, if you crash at that point, then it's not too bad. But also the best way to avoid doing the crash is to, don't roll and toggle your lantern at the same time. And if you're in Octo, make sure that you do the consistent Octo strategy. Yeah, Nimbus getting an extra cycle because he missed his rock. He's on the second cycle right now, and it's or the second stage of Octo. This is completely scripted, so you should always know exactly what pattern of suck and rock actions he does. Aero's has reached the end of the Dark Maze. They're going to go and go to the lily pad basement and see if they can find anything here. Nimbus decided to skip these out and go directly to Octo. Yeah, Octo is a fight that you can do with the sword. You're not required to use the shield to do this fight. It is expected to do this fight without the shield. Yeah, no one has seen a shield so far. No idea where it is. I mean, there are 2 shields in Logic. When you get both of your shields, then your first shield upgrades to the mirror shield. Okay, Nimbus gets pretty decent RNG. Got a 1 smoke cycle. That's the average RNG you get. Unfortunately, he was right in the corner of the room, so he's going to have to do a slow walking animation to the center of the room. And that is his 3rd element. Aero is going to be following shortly behind. There's only a quiver on Octo. Getting slightly excited there for a moment. It's like that looks like something important. It's like, oh no, it's just the quiver.
Yup.
Right, so now Nimbus is going to be going into the lily pad basement. Neither of them have great spin, I believe, so they can't do any of the quick kills on the Caterpillars.
No.
Yeah, Nimbus trying to break some pots there for hearts. There's only 2 guaranteed heart pots in that area. One in the room he just came from, and one in the block of 4 pots that is in the bottom corner. Okay, Aero finds his map, so that means that... Wait, he didn't get everything? Oh, right, he needs to go and do Octo now.
Yup.
Yes, but so Nimbus is going to be finishing up first. He just picked up a scroll there. Didn't quite see what that was. But yeah, if you do Octo the casual way, you have there's basically 3 different options of what you can get. You can either get a 0 smoke, a 1 smoke, or a 2 smoke, assuming you don't miss any of your rock throws on him in his final stage. And basically every additional smoke that you get loses 40 seconds. I think it was some kind of spin upgrade, either fast spin or fast split. Yeah, and Nimbus is on the last check that he can do. He's going to find his map here, and then he's going to realize, oh no, there could be something on Blue Chew. Then he's got an option there, is like, do we go and fight Blue Chew and try and find something? But Aero's already done it, and it was just a red rupee, so there isn't anything left in Temple of Droplets for either of these guys. Oh, if he's already got fast spin, then yeah, fast split. Yeah, we have it in English because it would be pretty horrible if we had it in Japanese. Don't think anyone would be able to read any of the text.
Nope.
And yeah, the rando is built from the E version of the game. Yeah, in Randomizer, you need to be able to read text, so you need to be able to read where your kinstones come from, so yeah. But yeah, the randomizer does have different language settings, so you can have French, German, Italian, and English. Yeah, random is the best language. Yeah, Nimbus is deciding to do Blue Chew. I'm standing on the wrong side there and had to do an extra wobble on the Chew fight. But Aero's done the path to Octo. It's going to be going in to do the boss fight now. Octo takes longer than the Blue Chew fight, so Aero's going to be leaving Temple of Droplets just after Nimbus has. All languages at once. Well, that's what random language is. Every text box that opens and closes has a different different language, and it looks at the RNG generator to just randomly choose a language for each text box. All right, Nimbus has full cleared Temple of Droplets now and can leave. Aero is just starting his Octo fight. That is going to be the last thing for Aero to do in this dungeon as well. He can leave after this fight as well. Yeah, Nimbus has 3 items that he's got available to him in North Minish Woods with the mitts. Now, if I was in either of their positions, I'd be going right up Veil Falls right now. Veil Falls has a Rupee Cave that has a bunch of items. There could be 2 more Kinstones there for them, or even the Power Bracelets. Though I completely understand them not deciding to go up Veil Falls and up to Cloud Tops, because they would be guaranteed to have to come back down late to get one of their Kinstones, because on their trackers they're missing 3 Kinstones, and we know where one of them is. It's in Lake Hylia's cabin, and to get to that they need the Power Bracelets. So then, apart from that one Kinstone, we're looking for 2 more. Yeah, the Minish Cap was one of the less played and less sold Zelda games, and it's absolutely a hidden gem. Anyone that's a fan of the Legend of Zelda series that hasn't played the Minish Cap should really check it out, because if you like Zelda games, you're going to love Minish Cap. Yeah, now we see Nimbus going up Veil Falls. There are just so many checks there, it's definitely worth doing. Oh, they didn't quite move over far enough to the right to see what the rupee spots were on lower Veil Falls, but you'll probably have to go there anyway. But he's got his Veil Falls Kinstone. We found the Veil Falls Kinstone in Fortress, so now they can go up Veil Falls. There's 2 chests that they can get in this cave, and then once they've left this cave and gone up to the upper portion of Veil Falls, there's a rupee cave that is absolutely loaded. Oh, Aero is going to graveyards. They are gambling that the graveyard is going to have their progression. This is a big gamble by Aero. Yeah, Aero tries to time a boot dash through a wall. Okay, there's a shield. We just got a shield on on Nimbus in Veil Falls. But yeah, if you've got your bombs, if you hold on to the bomb above your head as you're walking towards a doorway, you get propelled by the explosion into the doorway, and that is the fastest way to get into a bombable wall after exploding the bomb. The only thing is, you get hurt by doing that, so you only do it when you've got lots of health. But Aero's on 14 hearts; they're completely fine with taking damage here. Yeah, is the shield progression. So the shield unlocks 2 more locations, which are both of the Deku Scrubs. There's one in Trilby and one on Mount Crenel. There's our 4 sword! It's in Veil Falls! And there's another Kinstone! Did anyone bet... did anyone bet Veil Falls? Alright, no one bet Veil Falls. But did anyone bet, like, Cloud Tops? Because I think that's the next closest place. It was a while ago since we did the bet. Okay, yeah, right, there it is. Okay, so all we're looking for now is... And there's the second shield as well. Nimbus just gets that on the... in the first chest in Cloud Tops. Oh, unfortunately, Royal Crypt doesn't have a sword. It was just some bombs. Yeah, the mirror shield doesn't do anything in terms of logic. It's basically identical to the regular shield. The only thing is, when a projectile hits it, it fires a beam back. There's the power bracelets for Nimbus. They're just looking for one more Kinstone now. They know where their Kinstone is in the lake cabin. In Lake Hylia. Yeah, double dipping Cloud Tops was required, and also double dipping the Wind Ruins was also required. Both the areas that are before the 2 dungeons that require Kinstones had items that, yeah, that locked progression. Right, so we are 1 item from Go mode at this point. Whoever finds a Kinstone will put us into No mode, where we will know the logical progression throughout the rest of the game. Yeah, it's really unfortunate for Aero. Their play into Royal Valley didn't pay off. They didn't find anything important there. I mean, Aero has to go to Cloud Tops right now. He's not that far behind Nimbus, and I do think that the next thing he's going to do is to go up Veil Falls. I think it's way too risky for him. After he's doing it now. He's doing Veil Falls now, so he's going to be right behind Nimbus. Yeah, even though Nimbus is slightly ahead at this point, it's still super close, and the leads can change at any point. Yeah, there are all 4 of our bottles. We're still looking for another. We still want to find the ocarina and the book. They're not required by the logic by any means, but it's something that we would like to see. Because that will let us go and check Yalari. Yalari still has the possibility of having a kinstone.
It does. All you would need to see is our ocarina, and we could basically go check it. Unless we are missing one more boat still.
Yeah, after our runners hit go mode and get their last kinstone, then the race isn't over. It's not whoever hits go mode first is going to win. They still have the 2 hardest to execute dungeons to do, Palace of Winds and Dark Hyrule Castle. These are not easy dungeons, and if you take a death, you're going to lose a lot of time. Yeah, did we see the dog food? I don't think we did. We saw all 4 of our bottles.
I don't recall seeing dog food at all.
Oh, Nimbus did get the dog food in Cloud Tops.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't his. It wasn't a bottle then. Right, he should be on 3 bottles then. Just waiting for him to put. Yeah, he's on 3 bottles. He found a dog food, not the last bottle. Yeah, the dog food isn't like Ruto's letter in Ocarina of Time. It's a completely separate fetch quest item. You give the dog food to the dog and you get an item out of it, but you don't get to then use the bottle that would be left over. Right, Nimbus now doing Lower Veil Falls. There really isn't much left that could have the kinstone at this point. Like, there's a few checks in the overworld that the lantern opened up that they didn't do because when they got the lantern, they went straight to droplets.
Mm-hmm.
Nimbus is going to be using his 4th sword in the school garden. There are 3 items in there that he can check. We already saw the 4th item, which is the heart piece. That was only a bunch of arrows. I mean, I think Deepwood has as many checks now as the overworld, so... Yeah, I think Nimbus is going to go for the gamble that Deepwood has nothing. Then they're going to do all of the overworld checks here. Nimbus also hasn't gone to the Royal Crypt.
Trez, this seat is trash.
Boy.
That's all I have to say.
Hopefully Nimbus doesn't decide to go to Royal Crypt now, because if he does, that's gonna put him behind Aero. Aero's already gone to Royal Crypt and didn't get anything out of doing that. Oh no, he's gonna do it. I mean, we didn't see everything Aero got out of it. I don't think he got his Cloudtop's kinstones from that. No, Aero didn't get a Cloudtop's Kinstone there. Yeah, nothing in Royal Crypt, the Graveyard, or the Royal Valley, so... Yeah, this is just gonna hurt Nimbus. Aero's gonna... Depending on how long it takes for Aero to get back down the... get back down Veil Falls, we could see Aero retake the lead. Yeah, where is our Kinstone? Yeah, so I think there are only 2 more chicks in town. There's the Dr. Left's house with the power bracelets that they just got, and then there's the half ledge with the lantern. Aero going the wrong way here in Veil Falls and getting grabbed by this light. Yeah, he wanted to jump down to skip the cave, but there's another spot you can jump down there. It means you can avoid the enemies. Right, where is Aero going? They're going to go to town. Yeah, Aero now has his 4 swords, so he's also going to be going and checking the school garden. It's so very likely that if you've got your 4 sword and you're not in go mode yet, you're gonna want to go to the school garden, and it's so likely that your 4 sword, your go mode item's going to be there.
Yeah.
But Nimbus already checked it. There's nothing there, so Aero's not going to find anything there. Now,
Yeah,
I didn't
whenever...
see.
I'll let you go ahead.
We didn't see if Nimbus saved before going into the Royal Valley, because he doesn't have his Ocarina. He can't get out of here fast, and it's going to take some time to go out through Lost Woods. So, if he saved before going into the Royal Crypt, then when he sees what items on the King, he can just save scum back to the beginning of the Royal Valley, and can completely skip doing the backtrack. Yeah, we saw Nimbus do the pillar chest. Oh, Nimbus is getting really unlucky with this blade. You need to avoid the cycle here. Just wait for it to go through, and then you can go. You can't just try and YOLO it. The blade will kill your clones if you don't have good timing. Yeah, Aero's getting this pillar chest now. Nimbus already checked it, and it was junk. Yeah. Okay, Nimbus didn't do a save scum. Okay, there's the remote bombs. They're locked behind the lantern on the half ledge. Now there's only one more chick left in town. I don't think Aero is going to do it. It's Dr. Left's house. Now I think Aero is going to do the Mitz chests. The Mitz checks here. Oh yeah, we did see the Farmer Cave. It was a heart piece. Nimbus checked that earlier. Nimbus also checked the Mitz Caves in North Minish Woods and found nothing there. Yeah, Nimbus is going to make use of those shields that he found. Doesn't find anything on that first Deku Scrub. There is another Deku Scrub on Mount Krenel. And there's also the Mitz Cave at the top of Mount Krenel as well. Those are two quite long checks that I don't think he quite wants to do yet. He hasn't checked the town's half... Oh, he's not going there.
Oh?
Where is he gonna go? Okay, he's gonna hand in his dog food and find out what's there. Aero's making the play into Deepwood.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I don't blame Aero right now.
No, I don't blame him either. It's not the worst call, but...
There's not much left in the overworld to do, and, you know, they're really long checks, they take a long time. There's more stuff in Deepwood. Aero has already done one dip into Deepwood, so he... if there is something here, it's going to take Nimbus longer to catch up, because Nimbus hasn't gone into Deepwood at all.
No, yeah. So... this could go either way, really.
Yeah, but Nimbus is going to be picking up their Kinstone. This was our fourth one that we knew where it was, and we were just waiting for the power bracelets to get. Oh, I think Nimbus is also going to go here.
Oh.
He's also going for Deepwood. Yeah, Nimbus is going for Deepwood. Now, the things in the overworld we haven't seen yet is there are two things left on Mount Krenel. They're right at the top and take forever to go and reach. We didn't see Percy.
Percy could have a check.
Yeah, there's two items at Percy. No one went there with their lantern. It doesn't take too long to go and get, so I'm surprised no one did that. I thought Nimbus was going to do that when when he went over to Trilby to get the grip rings, to get the Deku Scrub that was there, but he didn't go down to Percy, which has two items. And I didn't see anyone go to the flipper hole that's by Link's house. Maybe someone went there? Oh no.
Oh dear.
Yeah, rip Aero's stream.
Hopefully he realizes it real quick and gets it back up. Okay, he's back.
Okay, he's back. He is checking stuff in Deepwood. Yeah, he's done the Moldoza drop. He falls into the water and has to quick warp out!
Oh,
That is a huge time loss for Aero.
Ooh. Yeah, so falling in the water in a tight spot like this is really not nice.
No, that is really bad. He's gonna have to go through the whole dungeon again to get back to that spot. He was right before he could activate the blue warp as well, so this is giving Nimbus a great opportunity to catch up. They are honestly incredibly close right now.
They really are. Right, this is anyone's match.
Yeah, Aero is still ahead, but his lead has depleted from having to fall down there. Yeah, if you are doing Deepwood with the flippers, it's actually harder to do it with the flippers because when you fall into the water, you just get stuck. In the last room of the dungeon with where the vanilla boss key is, there's a long path of having to use the gust jar on the mushrooms. If you have the flippers there and don't have the cape, that room's really hard, because if you go all the way through and get to the last jump with the mushroom, you fall into the water there. You have to go all the way back to the beginning of the room and do the whole thing again. It's really bad.
It's bad and it's no fun. Especially when you're...
And there's our third book. Oh boy, we didn't see that when Aero got it. It was on. Yeah, he picked that up when his stream went offline for a second. Yeah, this is a Trez seed. Having some issues with Aero's stream, not getting to... Oh no, and Nimbus does exactly the same thing! He falls into the water and it's a quick warp!
Oh my god!
There's no way out of that water when you fall in. You have to quick warp back to the beginning of the dungeon and go through it again. Now, where is Aero? We can't see where his position is right now. Trying to get his stream back up. Yeah, Aero is having some issues with his stream. Nimbus is going for the same thing. I think Aero was also doing this as well. When he fell back into the water, he said, "Screw it, I'm going to go for the lily pads." Yeah, he used a small key here to get to this area, so he won't be able to do the basement with the lily pad just yet. He needs to go to the back end of the dungeon, get to where the blue warp is, and there's should be a bunch of items available to him there. Right, I'm guessing Aero just found it. We have no visual of Aero right now. Oh, okay, so it was the last chest in the dungeon. Yeah, so Aero's found the kinstone first. Nimbus is going to go and do the Madapillar fight now. Yeah, I haven't been able to see anything Aero's done for a couple minutes now. Okay, he's left the dungeon. I saw a glimpse of him in Minish Woods just now, but then his stream died.
Yeah, this means, so... I might as well pre-warn people why it's
Oh,
happening.
Nimbus didn't activate the blue warp.
Aero has been having issues with what's going on in the world, so... That's... His stream usually tends to go borkish once we get closer and closer to the afternoon, so that might be why.
Yeah, Nimbus is having to waste some time here doing the green shoe. We're pretty sure that the kinstones are not on here and it's actually in the basement, so this is going to hurt Nimbus. Aero's going to be increasing his lead now. All the time Nimbus has spent doing this boss.
I'm gonna try to refresh and see if I can get it showing up.
Nimbus is getting another. Nimbus is getting another kinstone. Not kinstone. Another scroll off of the boss.
Yeah, basically what Summer said that I just mentioned. His luck had not been good. This is why he was trying to aim for his match to be in the morning.
It didn't look like the Great Spin Scroll. It looked like it was regularly coloured. It wasn't grey. Oh, it was when it dropped on the ground. It looked like the Great Spin. Oh, right. Yeah, it changes color when you pick it up depending on the progression. But yeah, Nimbus had to full clear Deepwoods to be able to get to his Kinstone in the base of Deepwood. Really awful spot for the Kinstone. Deepwood was a non-required dungeon, so having to go all the way to the back end of that to be able to get it wasn't great. But both of our runners are in go mode. We don't know where Aero is.
I'm checking with him to see if he's going to be able to get his stream back up.
There's no point. He is 15 minutes behind, so...
That is true.
Oh, okay,
here we go.
We have him back. He is at the top of the Wind Tribe. He's making his way into Palace. Nimbus is quickly following behind him. He needs to. Nimbus is still going to have to do the last two fusions in Cloudtops and then go up Palace of Winds. He's a couple minutes behind Aero at this point, but this can still all come down to execution. These are the two hardest dungeons in the game and are incredibly difficult to do. It's very easy to lose huge amounts of time on these dungeons, so it's not over yet.
Especially when you're doing cave skip. If you accidentally screw up cave skip and have a separate loop of it, it just hurts a lot and you lose time.
Right, Nimbus is getting his last fusion done. Aero checks the first chest in Palace, and it wasn't anything.
Aero's still fine. He's still in a good.
Oh, he misses the first cycle of on the Wisp Robes. He's gonna go for just using the lantern to kill them. No bomb strats today.
We know.
Okay, Nimbus is at the base of the Wind Tribe. They're going to be going into Palace shortly behind Aero. Oh, Aero falls down from the cape jump on his first attempt. He's watching the platform, he's going to try and get it a second time. Jumps us. Oh, right at the last second he makes the jump. Okay, there's a big key and a small key. Did he get both the small keys there? Yeah, so he has a big key and a small key. That is enough for him to be able to skip. He can, because he is in go mode, he's not looking for any more items. He can skip Pot Push Puzzle. There's no need for him to do it. He will have enough small keys to be able to get to the end of the dungeon by doing all of the other checks. Yeah, Nimbus gets a good wizard fight. Can he get this jump first try? Yes, he does! Right, Nimbus has saved time over Aero in this section of the dungeon. They are one room away from each other at the moment. Yeah, hopefully neither of them do Pot Push Puzzle, because even if there is a small key there, they will get enough small keys in other parts of the dungeon. Yeah, there is one room separating these guys. Alright, hopefully Aero didn't lose any of his clones in this section, and Nimbus isn't going to either. Was that Aero falling off the platform? The Aero is successfully going to skip Pot Push Puzzle. Oh, and Aero again also missing the cycle on that fan. That fan goes on certain cycles, and he missed the first two cycles that he can get it on, and got it on the third one instead. Nimbus is doing Pot Push Puzzle. Oh, this is gonna hurt Nimbus. They're gonna waste so much time here. If they get a small key, that's okay, but it spends so much time getting this chest when you're guaranteed to get enough small keys in other parts of the dungeon.
So this is really gonna hurt Nimbus if it doesn't give him a small key.
We will know if there's a small key on Pot Push Puzzle depending on what Aero gets on this on the Chain Soldier fight. If he gets a small key here, then there was a small key on Pot Push Puzzle. Actually, no, Nimbus is already gonna get it. Yeah, it was a small key. So Nimbus still losing some time here, having to do that check. Aero's not possibly getting a small key here. No, he doesn't get a small key. He gets dash attack instead. But that's fine for Aero, because if Pot Push Puzzle has a small key, and also if there's a small key on the fan loop, that's absolutely fine. He's gonna have enough small keys in the second half of the dungeon. Gets a very good fight. He also gets another small key off of the Dark Room big chest. Now, when Aero's going to be looking for his last small key, Nimbus is actually going to be good and is going to be able to... Actually, no, Aero does have all of his small keys. No, sorry, not Aero. Aero's looking for one more small key right now. Nimbus, when he gets to that big chest, he's going to be done. He's going to have all of his small keys and can just go mode the dungeon. But Aero's going to have to take some time now to do some extra checks here, and depending on where the small key is, Nimbus might have got lucky from doing the Pot Push Puzzle. Right, we got a message from Aero saying that some issues may come up with his stream soon, but he is doing a local recording.
Yeah. And this is why I checked in with him, because I wanted to double check to make sure he had footage on his part.
Yeah, and Nimbus has all of his small keys. He can just make his way through the rest of the dungeon. He doesn't need to check any more chests, but he is going to waste time here going and checking more chests. He has enough small keys. He can just go and open all of the locked doors. To go mode this dungeon, you only need 4 small keys. I think he's just realised, because he didn't even... Did he open that chest?
Oh,
I think he just skipped the chest and decided to continue, and that is good.
Yeah.
Oh no! Nimbus, please don't. Oh, he's opening all the chests.
Oh no.
Arrow's found his last... Arrow's found his last small key. He's going to be able to go mode the dungeon. Nimbus is doing the clone puzzle here. Oh, and Nimbus also didn't get the remote bombs from the half ledge in town.
Nimbus!
Yeah, Nimbus doesn't realise he has hit go mode for this dungeon and can just go straight to the boss. He's looking for more small keys. I think he's waiting until he hit 4 small keys, a count of 4 small keys, or, well, he's at 5 in total now. There's only one more. Yeah, guys, this is why you practice Palace.
Yup.
Yeah, Palace, you don't do it every seed, but when you have to, so important that you've you know your key logic for Palace. Oh, and Nimbus gets grabbed by the Wall Masters,
Oh.
sending him back to the beginning of the dungeon. Meanwhile, Aero has made his way to the boss, Georg. Oh, he timed his great spin too late and having to do some extra cycles here on them. I think he's done enough damage there. He is going for... he is creating clones though, which is slower than using the great... than going for his... going for Downstrike. He does have Downstrike, and Downstrike makes this fight incredibly easy and incredibly fast. Yeah, these Wall Masters suck. You definitely wanna switch to the bow and kill them with the arrows from range before you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Wall Masters in this game, like, I'm convinced their hitbox just disappears sometimes when you fire an arrow through them. It's so weird.
Oh, so I'm not the only one. Okay.
If Nimbus has stopped checking chests, he is just going to head straight for the boss now. Yeah, when you have the Force Sword for the Georg fight, and I think also with the Blue Sword as well, you don't need to create clones. The amount of damage you have to deal to Georg is a set amount per cycle, and if you deal over that amount, any extra damage you do to him, it just doesn't do anything. So, you know, all 4 clones with Great Spin, you're doing huge amounts of damage, but it's not going to do anything for you.
Really not.
And Aero's stream just died. And
Yeah, so he said that if he has to, like, restart it, he will. So we won't see anything from it. But he is trying to keep it up.
Alright, meanwhile, Nimbus getting on to the Georg fight. I think Arrows would just be finishing the fight now, so they're both on the fight at the same time. They're both going for creating clones. Yeah, Georg is a really difficult boss fight if you create your clones. It's you have to deal with so much RNG. Okay, Nimbus goes for the downstrike strat. You have to be fairly quick with the downstrike, but it is very consistent. You just when you get it, then you just need to start slashing with your sword. He is also on 3 hearts. He could die here. A hit from the orbs does a full heart of damage. But I do believe he has a fairy in a bottle, right?
Think?
Okay, he's on... He died! And he didn't have a fairy! Oh, that's really hurt Nimbus. He doesn't have any bottles with fairies. He equipped the bottle and he's trying to look for a fairy. There are 2 fairies outside the dungeon. In the pots at the top of the Wind Tribe, there are 2 fairies in those pots and they respawn every time you go to them. So that is the best way to get health in this dungeon. Again, yeah, practice Palace. You really need it. Yeah, he also didn't activate the blue warp. He did have his blue warp. He didn't activate the red warp, so he's gonna have to go through this lower section again to get to the boss fight. Yeah, that costs a huge amount of time dying on Georg. Arrow has... Unless we don't know what happened to Arrow, we're assuming he did beat the boss and he didn't die. He will be, if not in Dark Horror Castle, on his way there. Yeah, Nimbus against... He didn't get any fairies. So he's going to be going into this fight with only 6.5 hearts. That is a really low amount of hearts.
It really is.
He can slash these pots, these skulls, and get a couple of hearts, but again, this is a really low amount of hearts that he's going to be doing this fight on. You take a lot of damage in this fight. Yeah, this is really scary for Nimbus. They can't afford to get another death. If they die here again, it's pretty much over for them. We don't know where Arrow is. His stream has died. Last time we saw Arrow was at the end of this boss fight. Oh, he gets really unlucky there. He wasn't slashing his sword fast enough, but if you mash it optimally, then you can get it. Yeah, it was 1 sword slash away from getting that. Had to repeat the cycle there. Okay, he's on to the second blue phase. Right, now he's on the 3rd stage. This is the stage that really sucks. It's the blue Georg just flies across the screen and it's incredibly hard to dodge him. I think he did enough in that first set of damage. If he mashes fast enough here, he could get the kill. He's getting trolled, he doesn't get it. Right, he's gonna have to try again. Oh, it was so close as well. It was one hit away.
Ooh.
He's on 1 3/4 hearts onto the final stage. This is a really easy save. He gets lucky with a heart drop. Just go for the sword. Yep.
Yep. There you
should
go.
be enough to do it, and he does it. Alright, Nimbus has finished up Palace of Winds. He's got his last element, and now he can go to Dark Harrow Castle. Alright, it's just some just 20 rupees on Georg today. Yeah, Nimbus finds his fairies outside the dungeon now. Looks like he does know where they are, just didn't want to leave the dungeon and go and grab them. Okay, so let's have a bet. Where do we think the small keys are going to be in Dark Harrow Castle? So, in Dark Harrow Castle there are 5 small keys. We get one fairly early on, which unlocks the second half of the dungeon. And in the second half of the dungeon there are 4 towers. Those towers can have anywhere between 1 to all 4 of them having a small key on them. So, when we get the bet up, we will have a bet to see how many towers do you think are going to have small keys. And also, when you say how many towers, you can also specify which of the towers are going to have the small keys. They're in the 4 corners of the dungeon, so northeast, northwest, southeast, or southwest. Yeah, Nimbus is in go mode. He's so stressed out from the race. It's 2 hours 50. His opponent hasn't done, and he's heading to Dark Harrow Castle. He didn't think there's the warp in the Wind Tribe, so that's going to lose him some time. He could go through the warp in the Wind Tribe, and it would take him to Link's house. But instead, he climbs all the way down Vale Falls. Yeah, so unfortunately we've lost Aero's stream because it has reached the afternoon now and everyone is taking up his internet. Right, they said that they're getting their stream back online. We are on a 15-minute delay, so he said that the stream should be back in 5 minutes for us. Aero does have a local recording. He did verify that he does have a local recording going. B equals boomerang, A equals bombs. Yeah, I don't know why Nimbus equipped boomerang. think he was thinking about that spark there, but you are a Minish in this area. He did use his cape to jump over the first section of Dark Horror Castle. But we're going to be checking our first location in Dark Horror Castle on the Stone King. Aero hasn't won yet. They are their stream has just gone down. Their stream will be back up in 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll be able to see them finish off Dark Horror Castle. We suspect Aero is in Dark Horror Castle right now. Last time we saw him, he was on the Georg boss fight right at the end.
Yeah, so Arrow is still running.
Alright, we got 2 small keys from the first 2 checks in Dark Horror Castle. That's ruled out 4 towers.
Did we put up the bet, Trez?
No, we didn't get a bet up in time, but it's too late for a bet now because we know we already know where the small keys are. Okay, Nimbus checking the blade chest here. Gonna see if this has a small key. Getting 2 small keys at the beginning makes it quite unlikely that this is going to be a 3rd small key. But you still want to check it because it's faster than doing any of the tower checks. And there is a 3rd small key for Nimbus. Okay, that has ruled out 3 towers having small keys. Now, depending on what the next one is, we could only have a 1 small key tower section. Alright, Nimbus is going for the slower pattern with the clones, creating a zigzag pattern. This can be slightly more consistent. He doesn't position his clones correctly though, and they get hit by the cannon shots. Yeah, there are 3 ways of doing this. This is the safest and most consistent way of doing it. You just do a spin attack with a zigzag pattern of clones. You can also create a vertical line of clones and stand in the middle of the room and do a spin attack. That also works. You have to have precise positioning though for that to work. And then there's the bomb strat where if you've ever seen the glitchless speedrun of it, they do it there. It's incredibly fast but hard to time. You throw a regular bomb so that it explodes on one side of the room, destroying the cannons, and then you sword slash the other side. Okay, and it was just a compass, so we're looking at 2 towers. Wait, does the bot think there's a bet? Because we had a bet a while ago, but we finished that one. That was the 4 sword, and we did announce the winner. Okay, we've got Aero back.
Oh,
right,
and he is?
Aero
he's
is...
already...
Yeah, he's in the second half of Dark Horror Castle. He has not found any more small keys. He's doing the northwest tower right now. We don't know if he's checked any other towers so far. He has done the Black Knight fight though, and he's done all of the section that Nimbus is doing now. Right, where are our small keys going to be? Alright, Aero finds one of them in northwest. He's looking for one more. We don't know if he's already gone to some of the other towers already. I mean, by going, so the southwest tower, the one he's going to right now, is the slowest check. You normally leave that for last, so I suspect that he has already done the 2 other towers and found junk there. So we are possibly looking at both the western towers. Alright, Nimbus gets a decent fight on the chain soldiers. And Aero gets a good fight on the genies. Right, are we going to see Aero's last small key here? No, it's not. So Aero still has at least 1 more tower to go and check. It is impossible to get 0 towers. If you fill up all of the chests prior to the towers with small keys, you're still looking for 1 more small key by the time you reach them. So, yeah, the minimum number of towers required is always 1. Alright, where is Nimbus going? Nimbus is going to go to northeast. Meanwhile, Aero is in southeast. And Aero finds that, oh, my bet would have won! I always go northwest, southeast. That's where both the small keys were, northwest and southeast. Aero's got all of his small keys. He's got all 4 of the small keys. He's going to go and get the big key, can go and fight the boss.
So,
Meanwhile, Nimbus is doing northeast. He's not going to find anything here. Yeah, Nimbus not happy about that. Wait, what did he just pick up? Oh, that was the ocarina! Oh yeah, Aero also has the ocarina marked on his tracker. Yeah, so both of them found the ocarina in Dark Harrow Castle. One awful place for the ocarina to be. Alright, Aero's on the gauntlet. He's done the first 2 rooms easily. You can just use the great spin to make your way through that the Keaton room. He's now onto the triple Dark Knight fight. Kills the Black Knight really quickly early on, and he's already killed a red Dark Knight as well.
Yeah.
Gonna get a pretty decent fight here.
refresh. Just be on the safe side. I should probably say.
Yeah, Aero is now on to Vati 1. Meanwhile, Nimbus still has to do the other towers. He's doing... He's done northwest already. I think he's doing southeast. Sorry. He's doing southwest now. Alright, Aero gets lucky with those 2 arrow, the 2 eye hits and gets that first cycle of Vati 1 down very cleanly. He's got great spin going. Okay, he gets the second one quickly as well. He is below Vati right now, so Vati shoots fire, he's going to get hurt, but Vati doesn't shoot fire. He's on to the final stage. Is he going to be able to get this fight done in 3 cycles? Oh no, he doesn't do the great spin, so he's going to... yeah, he's going to have to do an extra cycle on Vati 1. When you always aim to keep one eye still alive so that you can charge up your great spin, and then when you start doing your great spin, you kill that eye and you can start hitting Vati straight away before he gets a chance to teleport away. Yeah, if you don't get the great spin on Vati 1, then he's always on 1 health at on a 4th cycle. Okay, Nimbus is onto his last tower now, whilst Aero starts Vati 2. does have the bow butterfly, so this fight is going to be much easier without... He does get the cape strat at the start. On the first cycle, you want to use the cape to hit all 4 of the eyes, because you can very easily do enough damage to progress the cycle to the next phase. We're on phase 2 now. He wants to create clones here, and then all that he needs to do is 1 spin attack, and that will be enough to do this stage of the fight. He gets the spin attack. Right, he's on to the final stage of Vati 2. Vati 2's last stage is really hectic. He does move around really fast. Okay, is he going to get his clones up fast enough? He's just... Oh, yeah. And he gets lucky and gets to hit the eyes once they were moving out of the way. Lands the spin attack and then does a final sword slash to finish the fight. Okay, Aero is now on to Vati 3, the last stage of the fight. Meanwhile, Nimbus has got his boss key. He's going to be making his climb up to the Vati fights. Aero has a substantial lead at the moment. He's about 5 minutes ahead at this point. The only thing that's going to let Nimbus get back into this is if Aero dies on Vati 3. But Aero has a huge amount of health, and he's got loads of long-on potions and stuff, so it's really unlikely Aero is going to die. It is Aero's race to lose at this point. Alright, I'm ahead on the comms, so I'll reset. I'm just gonna reload.
I was trying to tell you that, but you were so intense.
Right, Nimbus gets the Darknuts killed, meanwhile Aero is in the first arm of Vati 3. Right, Aero has 1 arm down, meanwhile Nimbus is starting Vati 1. Aero not going for Lanternless. He is over 3 hours into this and his opponent hasn't finished. There's no way he's going to risk doing that arm without the Lantern. Does get the kill. And now he's on to the final stage of Vati 3, getting his remote bombs ready, going for the swag strats. Yep, Vati 3, you only need to do 2 sword slashes to do enough damage to progress the fight. Nimbus gets Vati 1 done. Looked like it was a 3 cycle on him. Oh, Aero's standing really close to Vati 3 there. You have to be so precise with the timing if you're that close. Nimbus is on to Vati 2 now. Right, Aero's onto the last cycle of Vati 3. And that's GG for Aero.
GG.
I think Nimbus did the down strike on the actual main eye of Vati 2 there.
I would think so.
Yeah, a little bit mixed up in the strat there. You want to use it to hit all the eyes so that you can then do the regular strike on the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was an incredibly close one. I think if Nimbus didn't die on Georg, he could have won this. Oh, and Nimbus gets a triple! His clones died, but he charged a great spin and managed to do enough damage to Vati 3 to end the fight.
Oh.
That was so incredibly lucky. The great spin, a lot of the time, just doesn't... it doesn't count the great spin as doing damage to Vati 2. Yeah, Nimbus has Vati 3 in the way of the pedestal, in the way of the portal right now. At the start of the fight, you move all the way off to the side of the arena to get Vati to move out of the way, and then you can go behind him and go to the portal. Right, so he gets the both of the arms killed. Yeah, gets 2 slashes on Vati 3 in the first part of that cycle. Having very nice positions for his volleys. I mean, when he was on Vati 2, he saw that aero dot done, so he should be under a lot less stress now doing Vati 3, and there he finishes up.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
GG's to Nimbus. That was such an incredibly close race, and here we have Aero, GG.
GG, Arrow. Even with the net issue.
It wasn't a net issue. OBS itself crashed.
Oh!
The net was fine. OBS outright crashed. I spent half of Dark Hyrule Castle fixing it.
Well,
Yeah, because
at
Nimbus
least you got
caught up a
working.
lot in Dark Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I was almost certain I was going to get sniped at Vati, but from what I can tell, what Nimbus told me afterwards, apparently him dying at Georg
Yeah.
saved me.
Yeah,
after that.
it was the death at Georg that decided this race.
Yeah. So okay. Treasure Band.
No,
Yeah,
Trevor's not
This
bad.
seed was evil. I mean, okay, I'm not sure what's worse.
Trev, you're undead.
The-
There you go.
The bracelets and cloud tops just to go back to get a cloud top stone. The flippers and wind ruins to go get the mitts behind flippers just to come back. Or the fact that Ocarina was in Dark Hyrule Castle. Really? Really?
This felt like a plan, though, more than an actual, generated seed.
Maybe it was my first plan, though.
Who knows?
You never
I'm sitting
know.
there playing this. I'm like, you know what? I went into Dark Hyrule Castle. I'm sitting here thinking, like, you know what? This would feel very Plando-ish if I found my Ocarina here. Oh. I think the only thing I really shouldn't have done thinking about it now is I decided to put off Cloud Tops for Graveyard, forgetting about the rookie spots in Vale Falls.
Yeah, basically,
And I was already halfway through Graveyard. So
yeah, you did that right after Templar Droplets, and
Yeah,
when Nimbus finished Templar Droplets about a minute before you did, you were so close to the entire race. He went
Yeah.
up to Vale Falls and got all of his stuff, and we were like, no, this is going to really hurt you because you're not going to find anything in Graveyard.
No, I found nothing. I was already halfway through Graveyard, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's the rookie spots. I was tempted to dip them. I'm already here. I need to commit. Oh, where was the remote bombs?
It was the half ledge.
Yeah, behind the lantern. The lantern was meant to... Everything locked the next item. This was
You're welcome.
linear in the worst way possible.
Yes, thank you for an entertaining seed, Trev. Now I know what to look forward to if I have you roll my seed.
You know, when Trez first warned me that he rolled it, I'm like, you know what? At least it's not Trent rolling it. I regretted that now.
I'm not sure where this saying is coming from that trend seeds are worse than mine seeds. That's just no.
Because I
No.
played all those scrub turdy.
Trent seeds are not bad. It's the Trez seeds, but I love the Trez seeds. They're beautiful.
I usually have
Exactly.
good luck with Trez. I usually have good luck with tread seeds. There's
only one audience having luck with my seeds, and that's the actual audience. Everybody else is getting fucked.
I don't know. Every tournament race I've ever had that you've rolled, I've won. So.
Oh, that doesn't make the seeds good.
No, it makes the seed still horrible. But I did say before this race, throughout the last couple of weeks, the worse the seed is, the better chances I have. Because longer seeds tend to work in my favor. And this was a long one. I'm like, oh my gosh, this seed is so bad. I don't know if Nimbus is coming in here or not. But I assume we have a lot of similar complaints as far as some of the placements. Namely, flippers into mitts, and then bracelets into Cloud Top Stone. Then I realized when I got the bracelets, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like one Cloud Top Stone from go mode. Well, those checked in this area. Let's finally go back to Deepwood. I went in early hoping to get locked out. Sure enough, I did, thankfully.
All right.
Yeah, we saw the big key on the on that visible heartbeat spot, and knew that you needed at least the Gust Jar and possibly even the lantern.
Yeah, I had a few opportunities to go back with Gust Jar, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna put Deepwood off as long as possible.
Did you do the green shoe in the end?
I did not do green shoe.
No, you didn't. Yeah, Nimbus decided to do green shoe instead of going down to the basement, and I think it was dash attack there or something like that. They got a scroll off the boss, and then
it's probably the one scroll I didn't have, which I think is extended greats.
Yeah, so you guys were basically picking up your progression items about a minute apart each, or like a couple of minutes apart.
Yeah, long
the Kate and Gust Jar at the top of.
I was so mad because I was about to go up. I was about to go up the side of the mountain before going to Cave Plains. So I'm like, nah, I'm here. I can full clear it. Oh well, what's the chances of Kate being up there? Of course, game.
You should have known that from the start.
Yeah, and both of you picking up your kinstones in Deepwood Shrine as well, basically at the same time.
Oh wow!
And, the mitts in Minish Woods Cave as well.
I turned my mic on for that one. I don't know if it was heard.
I didn't hear it.
No, I didn't hear it. I think we had Nimbus's audio. No, I think someone mentioned in chat actually.
Yeah, I thought it was like it was heard. Okay, it was on Restream.
All right. Okay.
Good. I was like, I was mad at those mitts. Because I had decided to dip Fortress. I'm like, okay, I'll find something here. Oh, look, it's behind mitts. I see the kinstone there.
Yeah, I thought as soon as you got your flippers at the end of Fortress, at the end of Wind Rooms, I was like, there's your progression. Don't even bother going into Fortress. You're not going to find anything.
Like,
we saw the kinstone then, and I was like, yeah.
I'm like, well.
Yeah, come back with mitts.
Yeah, I was like, I can do a few checks here. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm just glad I was actually able to go mode Palace today.
Yeah, you saved some time over Nimbus in Palace. Nimbus decided to go do Pot Push Puzzle. They did get the small key there, but then they continued to open more chests, and they found all their small keys, even though they were in go mode, which was unfortunate. And they lost some extra time there by doing that.
There really was. All these places I go to peek, I'm like, oh, that's a kinstone. Cool, I'll come back later. Go to Lake. Oh, that's a kinstone. I'll come back later.
Oh yeah, all of the so many kinstones.
It was beautiful.
We joked earlier on in the seed, and it's like seeing both of those Castor Wilds kinstones, and then you also we didn't know they were Castor Wilds kinstones in town, but then you picked up one Castor Wilds kinstone, and we joked as like, hey, what if those two kinstones in town are Castor Wilds, and you have to go to Early Fortress? And that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, there's still a whole bunch this seed that went unchecked, though outside of heart pieces and 3 items, I pretty much still 100%ed. item collection.
Yeah, I think the only things that didn't get checked was Swiftblade in Caster, Percy, and Doctor Left. Oh, and then we had the Krenel Mitz Cave, and there was a scrub on Mount Krenel as well. But
I
other
didn't
than that,
check.
basically everything was full cleared.
Oh dang! I didn't check either scrub. The checks you mentioned. I also left out some of Minish Woods, the 2 Mitz caves. I literally only went into one of them, the shortcut to Lake after Deepwood.
Yeah, Nimbus checked those. Yeah, Aero did check the Minish checks in Castor Wilds. I don't think they had anything today. I think there was a scroll, maybe. Oh, there was a heart container. So you were ahead on hearts for quite a lot of it because you did some extra checks that gave you hearts.
Tingle Trophy, which was the book, and I'm like, well, I'm not even gonna worry about these books until I have Ocarina.
Yeah.
So I had all 3 books.
Well, yeah, Yulari was guaranteed to not have anything because Ocarina in Dark Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. In this seed, actually, logically, it was possible that it could have been Gusha, which would have been evil, but we found that elsewhere. So.
All right, folks. I want to say this is now time to wrap it up.
Yes.
I hope you all enjoyed it. I want to give a big shout out to Myth, to Hayden, and to iBot for tracking. I don't know, every single time I stream, it seems like iBot is just waiting eagerly for me to take tracking duty. I don't know. that guy's a tracking genius. Alright. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We're gonna be back with more TMCR tomorrow at 6 PM UTC. Round 2 with Darkos versus who would have thought versus iBot 02. Yeah, I hope both of them gonna have more stable internet than Arrow.
We'll hope.
And
we'll hope.
Yeah, let's hope. We're gonna be back later here on ZSR in around 2 hours with OTR Season 3 Lower Breaks Round 6 and 2 more A Link to the Past All Dungeons tournament races later. And some Z2R later as well. So busy day on ZSR. Catch you all later. Thanks for watching, and bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Later.